Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where it is time for me to give a full review of this guy right here. This is the Vosteed Mini Psyop. Now, before going any further into this review, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. We have an overall length coming in at 6.49 inches, a blade length of 2.69 inches, and a blade thickness at a nice and slicey 98 thousandths. We have LMAX for the blade steel, which is a very, very nice steel. Probably one of my more favorite steels, if I'm quite honest. We have a drop point style blade with a flat grind, a handle length coming in at 3.8 inches, and a handle thickness at 429 thousandths. Handle material on this particular model here is carbon fiber, as you can clearly see. But there's also a micarta option available as well. I believe 2 micarta options. And then also 2 carbon fiber options. The carbon fiber options are the same carbon fiber though, just different blade coatings, and the micarta options are actually different colors of micarta. Now that we have that cleared up, let's move on. We have a crossbar lock for the locking mechanism that works really, really well. A user of a left or right hand tip-up carry, weight at a nice and light 1.77 ounces, designed by Jeff Blovelt, and a price of $129 to $139. The reason I say that is because there's obviously 2 prices. The $129, that's for the micarta versions. This version right here is $139 for either one of the carbon fiber versions. So there you go, there's that. Let's take a look at some size comparisons here and see how it stacks up with some other knives. First size comparison we have to do is with the original full-size Psyop that came out a little earlier this year. And this is still one of my favorite knives of the year. The action and fidget factor on this guy and the front flipper, oh, it's just too good. But you got to bring it up here to show just how this is truly the Mini Psyop, considerably smaller and also very different. There's a lot of differences about that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Another knife that is worth putting on the table here, the CJRB Pyrite, which is definitely a bigger knife, but one that a lot of people can relate to, and also put this into a good comparison of overall size. And then 2 more real quick. We'll pull out a couple smaller Vosteeds that some of you may be familiar with. One of my favorites here, the Mini Nightshade, which is actually a pretty good comparison. Still a little shorter, but if the Mini Nightshade wouldn't slouch so much in that curve, it would be the same. But no, it curves for a reason because that's what the Mini Nightshade does. And we also have the Mini Corgi, or the Corgi Pup, whatever they call it. But as you can see here, yeah, really good comparisons there. Very close to the Mini Nightshade and a little longer than the Corgi Pup. So there's those. And now let's bring out the full-size Psyop again. Because as you can see, some really, really big differences. 2 excellent knives. 2 of my favorite knives ever from Vosteed, if I'm being honest. But the big differences here, obviously the lock, you have the top liner lock as opposed to the crossbar lock here on the new Mini Psyop. And then another big difference you have is the amount of sharpened edge. You definitely get a little more sharpened edge on the full-size Psyop, but as you can see, in terms of the blade sharpened edge to handle ratio, you definitely have more sharpened edge in comparison to the handle on the Mini Psyop than you do the full-size Psyop. Very interesting to note there. And granted, you have that full finger choil on the full-size Psyop, which is nice. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting the way they kind of tweaked that design. I think it was clearly the right call, because if you had a full-size finger choil on this, it'd be a little ridiculous. So yeah, definitely a great call there. And you know, I'm going to just say it right now. I would also love to see, while I have no issue with the full-size Psyop, I absolutely love it. I would love to see just a full size of this version of the Psyop. So this exact Psyop kind of enlarged to this size. I think that would be awesome. I think it would be extremely well received and people would absolutely love it. So please, Vosteed, make that happen. But yeah, let's pull these away from comparisons and get to talking more about the Mini Psyop, because that's what we're here to do. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, if you are an owner of a Benchmade Mini Bugout, you could have saved, what are those mini bug outs around, like 150, 160. You could have saved some money and got a better knife with the mini psyop. This is an absolute mini bug out killer in my opinion. It's everything the mini bug out is, but better. Because first of all, if you got the mini bug out version with all the carbon fiber and all that stuff, it's going to be considerably more than the standard base price of the mini bug out. So that premium version of the mini bug out, I don't even know what it is at this point. I'm sure it's over $200, but you guys let me know in the comments if you know, but I'm sure it's a hell of a lot more than 139 bucks. So you're really saving on the price, and you're also getting a better steel with the LMAX. LMAX, I would definitely take LMAX over S30V. I mean, let me know what you think in the comments, but I definitely think LMAX is a better steel than S30V, just my opinion. And again, it's like the same size. The mini bug out might be a little lighter, but when you're talking 1.77 ounces versus 1 point whatever ounces the mini bug out is, I don't care. I don't care. This is going to be just fine in basketball shorts, in any type of lightweight shorts or pants you're wearing, or that you don't want weight to affect and feel it too much in the waist. This thing is it's awesome. And the blade is a great place to start because it is nice and slicey. 16 thousandths behind the edge on this guy. Pretty tall flat grind for the type of blade you have here. I mean, it definitely has some nice slicey geometry going on, which is always a good thing. I like that swedge leading up to the tip. You have a rather nice reinforced tip with that swedge, and just a great blade grinds, and just overall lines in general look really, really good. And then you got the thumb studs and the back spacer here in the orange that just bring out all the pop and work so damn well with that carbon fiber. This is just a really, really good looking knife. There's really nothing I can pick on it for. And if you see the obnoxious amount of KPL down there, that was definitely my fault. I just put too much. So it was a little dry out of the box, so I put a few too many drops in, and this is just kind of where we are. But yeah, it feels so good in hand too. I mean, this area right here is kind of like a proud finger choil, I guess, so to say. Usually finger choils go more farther in, as to where this kind of pushes out a little, but it's just the perfect spot to put my index finger, and I get a very comfortable full forefinger grip, even with some wider hands. It feels really, really good in the hand. Very smooth finish on the carbon fiber. Love the effects you get there from just the light hitting it in different angles. The weave is very even and satisfying, and no flaws, nothing falling out, no divots or imperfections. Looks really, really good. Excellent little mini pocket clip that isn't too long or too wide or too anything. It's like the perfect pocket clip for this knife. And yeah, it's just of course with the crossbar lock and the left and right hand option, it's fully ambidextrous. So lefties or righties, we can all enjoy it the way we should, because this is just a great little knife. If you're into small knives and you like anything sub 3 inches, I feel like you have to check this one out, especially if you're a crossbar lock person. Just an excellent offering from Vosteed. One of the best offerings from Vosteed I think they've ever come out with. I think this design in general, to be honest, I just really love this psyop design. I'd love to see more plays on it, more variations, because it really is just a very clean, very good looking design that feels great in the hand, and it's just a really nice blade. So yeah, really hard to go wrong with this one here. I think it's a solid value for $129 to $139, and depending on what you're comparing it to, like a mini bug out, it's an incredible value. It's a much better deal. So yeah, some really good things going on here with the mini psyop. Really, really happy to see this in the Vosteed lineup. Let me know what you guys think of the mini psyop, and let me know which one do you prefer. Do you prefer the mini, or do you prefer the large? Or are you like me and you'd like to see a large version of the mini? Because I think that would do so freaking well. That may sell better than both of these if I'm being honest, just my opinion. But I mean, again, both great knives. But yeah, just Vosteed's really starting to crush it, guys. They've got so many good designs out this year, and they're not stopping. So really looking forward to what they have coming out next. But right now, it's all about the mini psyop. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.